This video is not intended for viewers under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy Earthrise Megatron. I have to admit, I was really shocked when I got this guy so early from Amazon, but let's take a look and see what he has in store for us. Stay tuned. As always, we'll start with accessories. So in the package, you get the typical background that comes with the decoder gimmick. And as you can see, Megatron actually has Cybertron. It's a little bit hard to read, but it's really cool. It's got a picture of Cybertron here. Nicely done. He comes with a resculpted version of his arm cannon, which was nice to see. It's actually different, and I'll bring in the Siege version. You can see the sculpted details different, which is nice. Barrel's a little bit shorter. It's more simplistic design, but one thing I did notice, it's actually very reminiscent of what we see in the Masterpiece version as far as detailing goes. Really nicely done, in my opinion. And as you suspected, that fits perfectly on the arm. And he comes with a different barrel sword. So, different design on it. More Earth-like than the previous Siege version. It's got some actual paint detail on it, which is nice, but the majority of it is just gray plastic. It's got a swivel here so you can attach it on the arm, but it's definitely a nice change. And if you choose to display it this way, that will fit perfectly onto the other arm. Kind of bulky, but at least there's a way to store it in robot mode. There is one other piece, but I'm going to save that for transformation. It's a simple parts forming piece that goes on the back of tank mode, so we'll hold off on that. But let's take a look at the bot, and I suppose you're not shocked to realize that this is just a remold of the Siege version. But he is nicely done. Now, although I do prefer the head sculpt on the Siege version of this, but the way they've done it just makes it look like he has a severe crow's peak problem. One of the kids from the Munsters, really, to be honest. But it is painted nicely. You got silver paint on the face, red paint on the eyes. Some differences here. You've got paint all the way across the shoulders, gray plastic, nice vibrant purple on the chest. Different detailing actually, and I'll bring in the Siege version to compare, but nice painted details. The venting here on the abs, the purple and the yellow is all painted. Sculpted details on the arms, surprisingly, is exactly the same as the Siege version. So this is basically the majority of the difference. Going down the legs, same look as Siege. You've got the battle damage along the shins here. Yeah, that looks like it's put on digitally. It doesn't actually look like paint. But the side is actually different. So they did give him different legs, which is good. And then feet are exactly the same as prior. They did get rid of the locking issue on the foot, which is good. Coming around to the back, different backpack, still serves the same purpose. So, but it is detailed with D16, which is a nice touch. Overall, it looks okay. A little bit disappointed that it's just a heavy retool of the original, sharing the transformation, but coming in, we can compare them side by side here. To be honest, I do prefer the head sculpt on this version. To me, it's more fitting for the character than Mr. Skullface over here. Again, the abs are different, as you can see, and the pelvis, but other than that, I mean, if you look at the details on the forearms here, yeah, they're different on the top, but the engraved detail is the same. It's that way for both arms. A little bit of difference across the chest, but really just too much similarity here, to be honest. But I digress. Let's move further along. I am going to do the transformation, so you'll have that to look forward to, but let's go over articulation first. Head is on a ball, so you can get up and down. No real side to side, but it will spin all the way around. Arms can go up to there, all the way around if you work around the backpack. You do have a rotation right above the elbow, and the arms will go up to 90 degrees. No rotation on the wrist, but you do get a little pivot due to transformation. A little bit of, you do get a waist swivel. Down to the thighs, you can get up to there, back to there, and all the way out, all on tension. Upper thigh rotation. 90 degrees worth of bend on the knee. Coming down to the foot, you've got a little bit down, a little bit up, and a rocker. So, same articulation as Siege. Nothing surprising or new there. So, let's go ahead and get into the transformation. Stay tuned. And here is Earthrise Megatron in his tank mode. And I have to admit, it's, in my opinion, better than the Siege, but it does have its similarities, obviously. So let's take a look at some details. Nice black and silver along the sides with a nice Decepticon logo there. Some nice molded in detail as well, with the black for the tank wheels and treads. Continues up along the top. Molded detail, it's a little hard to see with all the silver speckles, but does look good through here. There's a smoke screen generator detailed there on the side, as you see with modern day tanks. Coming along the front, turret has some added details here, as well as some paint added on. Nice molded detail, including a hatch along the front. Some other added details. Same on the other side. And the back, this is the parts forming piece right here, which kind of gives it somewhat of a more complete look than the original. You still got the feet hanging off the back, but at least they added some detail, some venting. Makes it look a lot better, in my opinion. As far as articulation go, it does have wheels, as before. And I did fix the legs. It's given me some trouble during the transformation, and I didn't want to dwell on it, so I fixed it off camera. But definitely see the transformer on the bottom. The turret does actually rotate all the way around. No real up and down. So, negligible. But overall not too bad, but again, same transformation as the previous version. So let's bring him in here just so we can compare. I mean, size pretty much the same. You do have the split in the two tread sections here on the original, but otherwise exactly the same transformation. Here's the comparison from the back. Again, you can see the difference of the detail there on the feet. From the other side, very, very similar. And detailing on the front. Definitely increase the level of detail here as opposed to this, but this does give it the more Cybertronian look, in my opinion. So each one has its points, but fortunately the negatives are typically the same for both. I wish they would have done a little bit more as far as making this its own figure rather than converting this mold in order to create this mold. But again, I digress. So there you have Earthrise Megatron in his tank mode. Overall, not too bad. So in conclusion, overall he's pretty well done, but the similarities between this and the original Siege release are very, very apparent. They've changed some minor things, namely the backpack and the legs, in order to make it appear as though it's a more Earth-like tank, but the transformation is identical. They've added the add-on piece to give it a more human and more solid look, but still, it doesn't do anything to improve it. The detailing is nice, somewhat G1 cartoon accurate, but the head sculpt to me is just off. I'm probably going to try and find my son's 35th anniversary Siege Megatron and swap the heads. He's 5 years old. He'll never notice. But can I recommend this? If you don't have the original, then by all means pick it up. But if you do, they put out so many versions of the original that you can take this guy or leave it, to be honest. So maybe this video will help you make up your mind as to whether or not you want to get it, but for me it's a soft recommend. But overall, I guess I'm happy that I have them in my collection. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to get your bell on. Stay tuned. I do have upcoming videos for the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Commander, as well as the Red Ninjas coming in next week, and also Gung Ho. So some great things to look forward to. Have a good day.